jump over here to the store and get started. Okay, and there is the list of all of the different Star Wars games. And so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on Star Wars Racer Revenge, and we're going to purchase this for $10, and it looks like I might have enough in my wallet. So I'm going to confirm purchase here. So now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to download this game. Okay, now that has been downloaded and it is obviously runnable here, as we can go ahead and we can open up the game. Let's go ahead and get to our main menu here. And once we get the exploit added, we will be able to go into options here, and then we'll be able to come down to the Hall of Fame. And then from here, that is where it will load the exploit. So I'm going to go ahead and close back out of this application now. And what I want to do is I want to come back over here to settings. We're going to go to the save data and game app setting. And so we're going to go to PlayStation 4 and then upload or delete from console storage. And so right there, you're going to see we've got a Star Wars Racer Revenge. So I'm going to put a check mark on that, and then I'm going to select the option to copy here. So we'll give this just a second, and we'll switch over to the computer because I'll tell you a little bit why I wanted to do that. Okay, so over on our PC, once you plug in your USB drive, you will have the PS4 folder here, as well as a save data. But what we are interested in is this number right here, which is going to be your account ID. So let's just go ahead and do a rename option where we can just save that name to our clipboard. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to know out of this is which version of the PlayStation 4 game that you've got. So ours is CUSA Firmware 3474. So let's head over to the main Lua Core project repo, and we are going to be using Lua Core 2.2c. So just scroll down here to where it says Assets and Lua Core 2.2c.zip and download this file. Now you want to head over to Garlic Saves, and here is where you'd want to go ahead and add that profile. So here, I've got one already created that just says mbcromp-retail, and again, this account ID right here matches what we saw over here on our USB drive. So once you see that, go ahead and come over here to Resign, and we're going to select that profile, which was just in the cront-retail here. And so now if you go ahead and extract the Lua Core _ 2.2c, you can see that there are two versions here. Now remember, we know ours is in the 03474, so I'm going to go into that one, and I'm going to select both of these files right here, and I'm just going to drag these into this window. So after it has been added, we can click right here on Start Resign, and as long as there is a couple of systems up and running, it will resign the same for you. So right now, we can see there's at least 2 PlayStation 5s and 3 PlayStation 4s running. So if we look up here, we can see that the job Resign is running, and now it is resigning that C file. It is uploading the result, and in just a moment, we will have a new zip file that we can download. And so from here, go ahead and click on Download Result. So once you go ahead and extract the resigned files that Garlic Saves gave you, going back over here to our USB drive, again, we're in the CUSA 03474, and we can simply replace both of these files on top of the ones on our USB drive and select Replace the files in the destination. Now let's go ahead and take these over to our PlayStation 5. Okay, so back over on the PlayStation 5, we're going to go back into Settings again, Save Data and Game Out Settings, PlayStation 4, and then we're going to go Copy or Delete from USB drive, and right there is my save game file. And I'm going to take the option to copy that to the system storage, and we are going to be replacing that save game file. Okay, once that is complete, let's go ahead and load up Star Wars Racer Revenge. Okay, and once this gets loaded up, do keep in mind you would want to be on the network. So I'm plugged in via Ethernet right now. And so let's go ahead and let's start the game. We're going to go over here to Options, and we are going to go to Hall of Fame once this loads. And if we did everything right, we should start seeing this screen right here, which says Master Core Initialized. And right there, we can see Lua Core 2.2c, and we are on version 13.00. So if you have gotten this far, just a little bit more, and you'll have a Nintendo emulator running, and probably a lot more as time goes by. Now, before we leave this screen, go ahead and jot down the IP address in the port number. Here, you can see mine is on 10.0.0.122 on 9026. Okay, let's jump over to the PC. Okay, so over on the PC, we're going to use this project called emucore 0.4, and we're going to go ahead and grab the zip file right here. So just go ahead and click on that and download that to your system. Next up, on your Windows PC, you're going to want to have Python installed. So the easiest way I found is to just go to the Microsoft Store here, and you can just come over here and download Python version 3.12. So the next step is to go ahead and extract the emucore 0.4. Now, once you do that, you will notice that there are no ROMs in here. So again, you do need to supply those yourself. Now, I have a complete set right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select all of these files right here. We're going to copy them, and we are just going to paste them inside of the ROMs folder. Now, it's only a couple hundred megs for the full, at least US set, but that way we'll have everything that we could pretty much ever want to play for at least the Nintendo system. We're going to want to come right back over here into the emucore 0.4 and just type in cmd and press enter. Okay, so from our command prompt, we're going to type python nes launcher.py and then the IP address that is showing on your PS5 right now. So once we do that, we're just going to go ahead and press return. Okay, so we can see it is starting. It found some ROMs here, and it is launching the emulator. And now it is uploading a couple of our games. So if we switch back over to the PlayStation 5 here, we can see that it is now copying all of these titles over. Okay, and right there it is. We now have our Nintendo emulator working on a very latest and greatest PlayStation 5. So just check this out. So here we are. We're in Star Wars Racer Revenge. I am connected over here to the PlayStation Store. As you can see here, it's pulling in all the metadata and all that kind of good stuff. And again, I can come right here into Star Wars Racer Revenge, and here is all of the games. So do note down there at the bottom, it does say L1 is the escape in the menu, and then R1 is tab or exit. So let's go ahead and try 1942. So I just pressed X on that, and you do need to press the option button for start. So we picked one player here, and so it looks like it is starting up. And by the way, I did mute the sound here. Okay, and there we go. Yes, I am using my DualShock controller to play this, which is absolutely amazing. So just play this here just for a second. And what I'm going to do now is, again, just show you just how cool this is. Again, we're on a PlayStation 5 playing some of these games. Okay, so let's press L1 here, and that will get us back to our game list. So let's take a look at some of the titles that we've got here. So maybe we will go ahead and try Arch Rivals, which is one of my favorite games back when I was a kid. And there we go. The game is running. So that is very, very, very cool. So yeah, obviously you can select any of these games and you can start playing them. Now, one thing that I did see that you can do is that you can input this a couple of different ways One of those was with the native DualSense controller, and there's also a web controller that you can use as well. So if we go ahead and we put in our PS5's IP address and 9030, so let's just go ahead and try that here. I'm going to go 9030 here and then press return. Right there is the controller that you could use as well as the DualShock. And here you can see now it's connected and I can control the NES emulator this way. Anyways, I thought this was just a neat little add-on that you could take advantage of. Now, as I was editing this video, I didn't notice that there is another project that's out that's called SNES Core, and there is a repo available to this, and this is for Super Nintendo. So as you can see here, SNES Core is based on Emu Core in the S emulator by the EGY dev team. And so, yeah, there is more Homebrew right here to play with. Anyways, I hope you've got something out of this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael